Good evening. Hi, and welcome back to another live from the Norwegian Woods once again. I'm your host, Dolph Hawkins from WhiteWolfAlchemy.com, and in this video, we are going to talk about truth. The absolute truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, they'd say. So, I'm just wondering, can you guys hear me? So yeah, in my quest for truth, I have found that truth changes. Truth changes. Truth is fluid. There is no absolute truth. It all depends on your focal point, on your perception of reality, on your belief systems. It all depends on what you hold to be true, and it will be proven to be true to you, as beliefs are always proven true, whether we are right or we are wrong. And what is true for you may not end up being true for you as you grow and evolve. And that's the thing. There is no absolute. No absolute truth. There is no arrival point that you'll come to and you'll be like, okay, now I know all the truth, the whole truth. I know it all. Actually, the more you grow and evolve and come to understand, the less you'll come to find that you do know. But you'll have not as much of a barometer for truth, but you'll have a barometer for authenticity. And because sometimes people can be authentic about their belief, like they'll believe so wholeheartedly in their truth that it becomes true to them. When in all actuality, you might know different. It might be a completely different tale to you. I especially saw this in the Twin Flame community. And as I was growing and evolving and moving past belief systems, I came to find truths that were unique, because I was moving in directions that the rest of the community had yet to go. After, however, many found their way to the truths and to the experiences that shaped my truths in the letting go of the belief systems that had shaped their former truths. And so the truth changed. My absolute truth was no longer my absolute truth. It was a previous belief system. And I had arrived at a place of examination doing the acid test on my belief systems. And I found very little of what I had held to be absolute truths to be absolutes anymore. Most of it was indoctrination. Most of it was New Age belief systems. Most of it was taught truth. And then it was also experienced truth due to the fact that belief system always produces the experience. So believing is seeing, not the other way around. And that's the kicker. So you will be proven right about your beliefs. You will be shown, okay, what I believe, what I believe and what I hold to believe is the truth, is real. It is the truth. And alchemy then shows us, as we grow and evolve, that our belief systems actually produces our truth, our reality. So whatever you believe, whatever you hold to be true, becomes true for you. And so you could have two people having the same experience, yet they are holding two completely different truths because they have two different belief systems pertaining to the experience. I see a lot of that in the spiritual community, all depending on what background they come from, all depending on what indoctrination they have, what belief system they subscribe to. And it is a subscription. You are subscribing to the belief systems. Many of them you have stolen from other people. Remind me never to stick my face in the cat before I go live. Alright. So, truth changes. Truth is fluid. It's meant to evolve as you evolve, right? And as you no longer stay the same, your truths will no longer stay the same. And so you could be trying to calibrate your being to be able to perceive the truth, to be able to acknowledge and recognize the truth, but your filters of perception will be skewed and saturated by your beliefs. And so the better thing to do than to try to calibrate your bullshit-o-meter for truth would be to become authentic and examine and put your belief systems to the acid test. Am I full of bullshit? Is what I believe bullshit? Could I be wrong? You know, most people don't dare to even go to those lengths. They're afraid to put their truth to the acid test. They're afraid to test their belief systems. You know, so it's all a matter of the focal point. You know, I used to believe in God, but then I experienced God as source and not so much as a divine parent. Then I realized, oh my God, you know, all of the human beings on planet Earth are orphans. We are basically, you know, trying to fill that parental void because all of us grew up with spiritually immature parents, meaning that they were mentally and emotionally immature due to the very fact that they had a lot of wounding that created immature patterns in them. And so we basically had children for parents. Nobody really had a mature adult as a parent on this planet, and so we are basically all orphans. Hence this whole idea of projecting the divine mother and divine father wound onto some deity or deities. And in that, we created God in our own image rather than allow God to be what God was, which is energy. Plain and simple. Masculine and feminine source creative energy. But we had to put a face to the name, or a name to the face, and all that stuff, and so that we could feel protected. But God, how can God allow all this evil, all this war, all these children dying right now? And God's people are doing it too on the Gaza Strip, right? Both of them, the terrorists that are defending their country, and Israel that is occupying sacred land, and doesn't matter. I don't think they're God's people any more than you or I, and their actions are far from divine. And I think this whole idea of God as the divine parent, as Father God or Mother God, has created a lot of problems for us all. If we were to recognize that God as source creative energy flows through us all, we'd see the divine in one another. Truth is a question of arguments. We can stand to argue that. Yes, I think like I said, it's a matter of focal point and perception of reality, and you will be proven right about what you believe. So you will feel that your truth is solid until you begin to question your truth. Then you might be having arguments with yourself until you either shift your focal point and perception of reality by shifting your belief, or remain the same. I think it's always good to question our motives, question our driving forces, as my wife calls it. What is driving me to do these actions? What is driving me to believe what I believe? What is the force behind these thoughts, words, actions, beliefs? Yeah, it's interesting. And living our truth, that's the best thing we can do. And to be honest about what it is that we believe, to be authentic. So even when we're wrong in those truths, we have at least been real about being wrong. And we won't find that out until we question ourselves. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was wrong all along. The coming of Christ is all of us returning to heart, the walking the path of heart, compassion and kindness, and yeah, I believe that too. in the most basic way expressed. I believe that. Thank you, Loic. Loic. I'm gonna have to do you honor by trying to say it in French. My beautiful brother. It's now 12 years and counting that you and I have been walking in spiritual awakening together. And you have been a most loving, compassionate support from afar. And I still have the crystals you sent me on my altar, except for my dolphin one. The what's the name of that crystal? Somebody took it. Somebody took it down in California. Someone recognized the value of it and saw that I had a sliver of Lemurian treasure. So they grabbed it. But I have the Labradorite and the other pieces, the other green sliver that I've never figured out what is. Yeah. It's good to have people around you that you walk with for... I used to be so full of shit. Pardon my French. I used to be so righteous in my truth. I used to be so willing to fight for my truth. And truth you should be able to set free, and it should fight for itself. But I would fight anyone that would challenge my twin flame belief system. If you all remember that, you know, I would challenge anyone who was wrong, and I would be on the internet arguing and fighting anyone who had a different truth than mine. And today I hold a truth very similar to the people that I was arguing with all along, and that is the divine comedy. And the universe likes to have a sense of humor. It loves to make jabs at us and laugh at our expense. You know, I was so sure that because I had experienced what I had experienced, and it was so real, it was so true to me, the one true love, it had to be true. It had to be true. No wonder. I have a very close connection to the Maori. I've had lots of clients from New Zealand in the past 10 years. Beautiful warrior people. Yeah. So we change, and as we grow and evolve, our truths change. And then we come to find that, okay, maybe I should save my energy and not argue about what is true online. Maybe I should not argue with my fellow man about our truths. Maybe we could hold the container for these truths to be self-evident, as they say, right? And experience our truths as we see fit, and allow others to, as long as we're not harming others. I think that's the most important thing we can do. Not to harm others. Yeah. So I want to thank you all for responding to these requests. I really like making them. I have no problems speaking and making lives about the various concepts that I have experienced myself, at least, because I like to be authentic in that. But yet, my truths changed so much. So, and being a mentor on the topic, I had to go back and delete 7 years worth of material. First, I deleted 3 or 4 and a website with 200,000 visits on it, all for the sake of authenticity and truth. I could no longer support the previous belief system that I held, and I could no longer let that information be out there to be persuaded or led astray by. So I deleted it. And then a few years later, as I changed again, I deleted my YouTube and the information I had, all the videos that I had there. And I wish I hadn't, because it messed with my monetization, and I had to start all the way back from scratch in building this platform and business, because I'm actually trying to make a living off of doing what I love doing. And yeah, so I shot myself in the foot because I wanted to be of integrity and authentic, and I should have just paused those videos somehow, made them private instead of deleting them. But I thought the energy being there would affect, so superstition, man. Thank you guys for watching. I haven't said Happy New Year, so 14 days in, and my first live of this year. And I wish you all a beautiful winter and the true New Year, which will be in spring, April 1st. That's the actual New Year. We're now kind of still in cocoon mode. We're kind of still waiting to build our wings for when spring comes and become the butterfly all over again. Social butterflies. We spread our wings and fly out. But that's the true New Year. April 1st. It is what feels natural to us. New beginnings, to plant the new seeds, right, for the harvest of next year, when we are ready to begin tending to our crops and our blessings and bounties. So for now, be creative, be in solitude, and don't worry about having to stress and rush and commit to the new year and all that stuff. It's all just bullshit to throw us off track, to fuck with our natural cycles and rhythms, so that we will be easily hijacked and easily thrown off course. So keep nourishing and nurturing your talents, gifts, and trades, and build upon your craft. You still have 3 more months to do so before it is presentation time, and time to head on out into the world and start fresh again. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I really, really appreciate you. And for those of you I have not met yet and gotten to hug, I hope I get to meet you in the coming years, and that we can feast together and maybe take a deep dive or a cold plunge, or whatever the gods that we are will. Yeah, I feel that. I felt that all the way. Maybe, maybe. Until then, hone your talents, gifts, and traits in your craft, and be the best that you can be at what you do and what you are. That's what it's all about. And be good to other people. Be good to other people. Take care of your community. Take care of one another, and yeah, spread some compassion. Because life is hard for all of us. There's nobody I know that life is not hard for. Yeah. So good to see you here, my friend. Serious Way was the name of your Facebook back then, and I was running the page Healing for a guy, and I was doing these meditations for healing of planet Earth, and it was a beautiful, hopeful time. As I was recently reawakened starseed who had lots of hope for the healing of Earth. You know, I still do, but I think it will be a lot more work than I first set out for, you know. The healing for the sentient beings for Gaia and her sentient beings. Yeah, that was the name of the group. Yeah, good times. I'm going to go find my crystal now and hold it in my hand and send you some beautiful, beautiful energy and gratitude, my friend. Thank you for being on my path. Blessings. Talk to you guys soon.